Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's GTA 5 video, I want to talk about all the new cars, vehicles, boats, planes, and more that we know so far are going to be arriving in the Cayo Perico heist coming to Grand Theft Auto Online on December 15th. So far, we've essentially gotten two teaser trailers. The one we saw the other day that had that like green overlay on there. And then earlier today, Rockstar uploaded the first official teaser trailer for the Cayo Perico heist. We talked about details of the release date and the actual map expansion itself in a video I did earlier in the day, which I'll leave a link to in the description. Today, we are going to be focusing on the brand new cars, vehicles, boats, planes, and more. So let's actually focus on the surveillance footage that Rockstar uploaded the other day, the one that has that green overlay on there. So in this shot right here, where it looks like it's just showing off farm fields, we can actually see two potential vehicles. The first one actually looks like it might be a hovercraft from GTA San Andreas. So I know it's kind of difficult to see, but this wouldn't be shocking if Rockstar did slip in vehicles to this very simple teaser, because it's going by so fast. There's a lot of things on the screen that you might not have noticed. And so right here, it does look as if we're looking at the Vortex from GTA San Andreas. Now, the only awkward thing about this is we already have a vehicle in game called the Vortex, if indeed this is a hovercraft. It also kind of makes you wonder, why is a hovercraft on some farmland area? But this definitely looks like it's a new type of vehicle, that's for sure. I don't know what else it could be. It doesn't look as if it's like farm equipment. It really does look as if we're dealing with a vehicle there. Now, the other thing that we can see is it looks like there is some more traditional farm equipment here. This would be the Combine Harvester, also from GTA San Andreas. So if these indeed are two vehicles, it looks like we're getting two throwback ones from GTA San Andreas, because the Combine Harvester, believe it or not, was actually cut from Grand Theft Auto 5. You can actually find photos of it in game, but it never actually made its way into the game. In fact, there's a handful of vehicles that function this exact same way, and the Combine Harvester is one of those. It was cut from the game before release, and obviously the Vortex, the hovercraft from GTA San Andreas, it's a fan favorite. It fits Rockstar's weird, wacky type of vehicles. They could charge a ton of money for it, so it wouldn't be shocking if those were two vehicles that were added. So from the surveillance footage that Rockstar showed off the other day, that is pretty much everything as far as potential vehicles go. I mean, it was only a 10-second teaser, and really only 7 seconds of that was actual footage from the island. But let's get on to the trailer that Rockstar released today, because we can see a handful of brand new vehicles. And the first one that we can actually see is what looks to be an armored and a weaponized version of the dinghy, which was shown off in this shot right here. You guys can see that it looks like our Grand Theft Auto Online character is piloting it. And on the very front, you can see there is this mounted machine gun that also looks to be protected by a bulletproof shield that the gunner would actually sit behind. So meaning if you're facing that direction, you're going to be in trouble, because there's the tiniest of little gaps in which you could take out the gunner. You'd have to take them out from the flanks, the left, right, or behind. So I don't know if that's the only difference here. We don't know if it has more armored capabilities, if there are other special features of the vehicle itself. But that's the first brand new vehicle right there. It is an armored dinghy. Now, I couldn't totally confirm if this was a brand new car. It just honestly looks like one, but it's so far away, I have no idea if this is legitimately a brand new vehicle or not. The only thing this kind of looks like is maybe the Glendale from GTA San Andreas, but we already have the Glendale, so I'm not sure. Again, that's why it's so important. If you guys notice something in this trailer and in these screenshots that I just for whatever reason passed over or I didn't notice, let us know in those comments down below, or better yet, on my Facebook page, where you can send videos, photos, and more. But this is something I noticed alongside the armored dinghy. And we can also see what that armored dinghy looks like from another angle, as in this shot right here, you can actually see another one pulling in to the harbor. Now, there are a handful of other vehicles that can be seen in this shot here. They're actually featured on the road driving by. One of them looks to be a new motorcycle or a bike of some kind. Now, unfortunately, there's no way to determine if this is a new vehicle, if this is an existing bike like the Enduro or the Sanchez. We just know it's a new bike. There's also a new Jeep that looks to be passing by. This is the same Jeep that can also be found on the right-hand side of the screen. I don't know if you guys can see that in between like the steel rods of the crane. That is a brand new vehicle as well. It's a new Jeep, new Humvee. And then you can also see there looks to be another big Army carrier that's driving by as well. Now, I don't know if this is the existing Army carrier that we have in the game, if this is a brand new one. It's only shown briefly before it actually jumps behind another crane, so we end up losing sight of it. But those are the new vehicles that can be found in this shot right there. The armor dinghy, potentially a new bike, a new Jeep or Humvee, and a brand new, potentially, armor carrier. Now, moving on to our next shot right here, Rockstar focuses on a plane flying over the island. I don't know if this is like from the cutscene of us actually entering the island. We don't have all the details yet. We know from the teaser that Rockstar provided the other day that our John Doe character that was washed up on the water, he was last seen at Los Santos International Airport. So I don't know if this is just a prop plane coming from LSIA to the actual island. If this is a brand new plane, it doesn't look as if it's all that new. So I think this would just be from the cutscene entering the island. And we can also see the same sort of Jeep that was in that last shot heading towards this Cayo Perico entrance sign right here. That is also one of the new vehicles that's going to be featured. We just get sort of a different look at it right there. So potentially two new vehicles in this shot. And then it really transitions to like the short and sweet security footage. So I'm just going to show you screenshots of this because in this shot right here, we can see two brand new vehicles. So the two that are on the right look to be the exact same one, just in a different color with some potential different modifications. And then our vehicle on the left is an entirely separate vehicle. It almost looks as if it's that Army troop carrier that we saw earlier, which is really awesome. So our vehicle in the middle and our vehicle on the right, I believe this is also another cut car, another cut weaponized military car from GTA 5, and this is the Squatty. So the Squatty was essentially a military variant of the Mammoth Patriot that was cut from Grand Theft Auto 5. It's kind of based off of the Hummer, and it looks like it has variants of military Humvees in it as well. This can actually be seen on the Warstock Cash and Carry site, but of course was never added into the game, at least until now. So how cool is that? It looks like we're getting yet another cut vehicle, the Squatty, being added back. And you can also see some of the customization options on there. It looks like you're going to be able to modify the bumper, the hood. I'm sure there's some exhaust option upgrades, even some of the rails on the back. It looks like you'll be able to modify too. So that's pretty awesome. And then as far as the vehicle on the left goes, this actually looks like it's sort of a Russian truck mixture of the Avia A21 and the UAZ 452. So I don't know if we've seen any vehicle like this in previous GTA games, but it looks like they're finally going to be adding this as well, another military-esque truck. Now, for sure, I'd say the star of the show here is the big submarine HQ, which we actually do get a handful of screenshots of towards the end of the trailer. So the first look we get here, and I'm sorry this is blurry, Rockstar put like their own sort of like surveillance footage, switching channels sort of filter over here. But we can actually see our character actually manning what looks to be like a missile system that's actually on the submarine itself. So I don't know if we're going to be able to launch literally underwater missiles. I don't know how that's going to function. I don't know if this is going to be like Orbital Cannon 2.0. I hope that's not the case, but as we'll talk about some of the details in a little bit, Rockstar said there's a lot of surprises with this thing. And if you wanted even more potential proof that this is something that could be like the Orbital Cannon, our next shot shows us a giant cache of missiles that you can actually launch here. And they even show what it looks like when I'm guessing like they're armed and ready to go, because the light up top transitions from white to like this red, like, oh my goodness, you've just launched a missile. That's like the vibe I'm getting from this shot right here. So that's another part of the submarine. We can also see another part of the submarine right here. I'm assuming this is going to be like the main hub where everything takes place, because we can also see one of our other characters that seems to be hanging out in this area. We've got our main character in the foreground who looks to be looking through some binoculars, potentially seeing what's above or on the surface. And it looks like, as you can see through that corridor there, there's lots of other rooms that we'll potentially be able to check out. So I'm assuming this is going to be our underwater version of the MOC, the Avenger, the Terabyte. Basically a heavily armored vehicle with lots of different purposes, whether it's related to the heist, other missions, etc. So that is a really good look at what's going on there. And then, of course, we get to see the outside of the submarine itself. And it's kind of hard to tell because it does fade quickly just how big and just how massive this thing ultimately is. You guys can see there's like 2 little headlights on the front. I also have no idea where this is underwater, if this is off the coast of the new island, if this is off the coast of Los Santos. But again, you guys can see just how massive this entire new thing is. Now, we do get some more details from Rockstar briefly on how some of the vehicles are going to work. Since we're talking about the actual submarine, this is what Rockstar had to say regarding that. They said the submarine is very large, very versatile, and very heavily armored. It's an HQ with plenty of other surprises. All right, so that answers a couple questions right there. It's massive, so who knows how quick, how speedy it's going to be. I don't imagine submarines are very fast, so don't expect this thing to just like go crazy quick under the water. I'm also not sure what very versatile means. I guess it has like multiple purposes, can do multiple things. Heavily armored, that's good, although I would find it hard to believe there's a lot of things under the water that could take out a submarine. Like, you obviously can't fly an oppressor or a jet down there, so I don't think you're going to have to worry about that. But maybe there will be other underwater vehicles that could take this out, so it would need to be heavily armored. And it has plenty of other surprises, too. Again, this kind of has me worried. Are we looking at, like, Orbital Cannon 2.0 here? Are we looking at other fun things that you can do, features that have not been included in the game yet? So just something to keep in mind. And the only other thing that Rockstar mentions with the vehicles is that there are brand new vehicles that you can acquire. That's literally what they said, acquire new vehicles. So other than that, that's pretty much everything we know so far about the new cars, vehicles, boats, and planes that have been shown off in Grand Theft Auto Online in the Cayo Perico heist, which again is going to be coming to GTA Online on December 15th. So as we get more details, as Rockstar shows off more, I'll be sure to keep you guys posted, so stay tuned here on the channel. If you guys did go on to enjoy this one, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, or you want to stay up to date on all the latest GTA and all the Cayo Perico heist videos that I'll be doing here on my channel once the update actually arrives. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.